Sometimes, the truth is buried so deep, it takes decades to surface. Sometimes, the only thing louder than justice is silence. But in 2025, silence was finally broken. New technology, brave witnesses, and unexpected confessions breathed life back into cases once thought forgotten. These are 5 cold cases with breakthroughs that shocked families, investigators, and the world itself. Each of them was finally given a voice. Case 1, Amber Evans, the activist who vanished in plain sight. Amber Evans wasn't just another name on a flyer. She was a 28-year-old community organizer in Columbus, Ohio, passionate about youth advocacy, racial justice, and peaceful protest. Smart, thoughtful, and always composed, she was the voice of her generation. On a cold evening in January 2019, Amber sent a final text to her mother, "I love you. Always." Her car was later found abandoned near the Scioto River. No signs of foul play. No suicide note. And just like that, Amber was gone. Authorities downplayed any suspicions. Many assumed she had taken her own life, a theory her friends and family vehemently denied. In March 2019, her body was recovered from the river. The case was ruled an accidental drowning. No further investigation was pursued. But in February 2025, a former caseworker from a local agency contacted a journalist with anonymized internal documents. Among them, a series of unfiled complaints and reports about harassment Amber had experienced from a fellow activist, someone who had access to her daily routine. This led to a reopened autopsy and a new forensic analysis using post-mortem injury pattern modeling. The conclusion: blunt force trauma consistent with restraint, not consistent with drowning. Further investigation found deleted messages from the suspect's device, recovered through advanced cloud forensic recovery. A grand jury was convened in March 2025. Charges were filed. Amber's family, after 6 years, stood in court as her case was finally called what it always was: homicide. Case 2, Jerry Fox, caught by a family member's DNA. Tucson, Arizona, 1988. A 9-year-old girl named Jenny Martin left school on foot, her home just 3 blocks away. She never made it. Her body was found the next morning in a drainage ditch, signs of strangulation, sexual assault, and struggle. The community was horrified. Her parents shattered. The case went cold for 35 years. Investigators collected DNA from the scene, but no match was ever found, not in local databases, nor in Cody's. Then, in January 2025, a match appeared in a genealogy site. Not Jenny's killer, but his nephew. A man living in Idaho had submitted his DNA out of curiosity. It connected to Jerry Fox, his uncle, who, in 1988, had briefly lived in Tucson but was never on the radar. Under surveillance, investigators collected a discarded soda can from Jerry. DNA matched, 1 in 2.4 trillion. When they knocked on his door, Jerry didn't flee. Instead, he said quietly, "I always knew this day would come." At trial, he admitted he had never meant to kill her, only to scare her into silence after an attempted assault. The courtroom fell silent as Jenny's now-aged mother whispered, "Thank you for not forgetting." Case 3, Alicia Navarro, found alive after 6 years missing. In 2019, 14-year-old Alicia Navarro disappeared from her home in Glendale, Arizona. Her family found only a handwritten note, "I'm sorry, Mom. I ran away." She suffered from autism spectrum disorder. The note, the sudden disappearance, it never felt right. The search lasted years. Flyers, Reddit threads, YouTube exposés, Facebook campaigns. Nothing. Alicia became another missing child, lost in the algorithm of the internet. Until July 2025. A young woman entered a police station in Montana, visibly nervous but clear in her voice. "I'm Alicia Navarro. I've been missing for a long time. I need help." Investigators were stunned. Alicia had been living with a man she met online, under coercion and psychological control. She had never been reported in Montana. She had never enrolled in school. She was completely off the grid. Now 20, Alicia is undergoing trauma recovery therapy. Her captor is being investigated for interstate coercion and unlawful restraint. Her mother, upon reunion, said, "I never stopped hoping. I never stopped calling her name every night." In a world where most stories end in heartbreak, this one ended in survival. Case 4, Milbury Jane Doe, a name after 45 years. In 1980, a hunter found skeletal remains in a Massachusetts forest. No ID. No clothing tags. Only a silver ring with initials PM. She was dubbed Milbury Jane Doe. And for 45 years, that was all she was. With no family match, and no trace of dental records, the case went nowhere. But in late 2024, a private genetic genealogist partnered with Massachusetts police using tooth-derived DNA and GED match. A distant cousin tree was mapped. Names eliminated. Branches trimmed. And then, Patricia McNeil. Missing since 1979. Rhode Island. 23 years old. Reported missing by her roommate. Never followed up. She'd last been seen getting into a truck with a man who claimed to be headed toward Worcester. Now, in 2025, that man, a long-haul trucker named Carl Danner, is serving a life sentence in Kansas for an unrelated homicide. After DNA from under Patricia's fingernails was confirmed, a murder indictment was issued across state lines. The coldest of cold cases, cracked by a single molar. Case 5, Robert Barron, buried in a wall. Robert Barron, beloved owner of Gigiarelli's Pizza in Old Forge, Pennsylvania, vanished in January 2017. His son found blood in the home. Blood on a couch. Drag marks. But no body. Police suspected foul play, but without a body, no arrest was made. The town rallied. Candles lit. Flyers posted. Nothing. Then, in April 2025, during a renovation of an old bakery building, a worker broke open a sealed drywall panel. Inside, a trash bag. Bones. Clothes. Teeth. DNA confirmed, it was Robert Barron. An arrest followed within days. John Kowalski, a former employee. His fingerprints were recovered from inside the bag and on duct tape used to bind the victim. Kowalski confessed under interrogation. "It wasn't supposed to go that far. I just wanted money." Barron's family now has closure and justice. The restaurant reopened on April 25, 2025, with a new plaque, "Robert's Table, always reserved." In every file marked cold, there are lives waiting to be remembered. Behind every timeline, every evidence tag, every autopsy photo, is someone's daughter, someone's son, someone's friend. 2025 has shown us what time, technology, and persistence can do. Because sometimes, justice is late. But it's never absent. Share this video. Someone out there might recognize a name. A face. A voice. And maybe, just maybe, that's what it takes for the next breakthrough.